to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up weekdays. Catch us live, somebody, let's go.
Good evening, everybody, and afternoon, and welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there, enjoying your day. Man, it's Wednesday. I keep thinking it's Thursday. I don't know why, but it is Wednesday, and I said I wasn't going to be on unless we had some news. And we most definitely got some news right now, breaking as of the past hour or so, within this past, 45, 30, something like that, hour or so. Anyway, long story short, we got some news here. And I'm not actually surprised. I knew this is inevitable. This was inevitable. I think some other people were thinking, fingers crossed and, biting their nails and at the edge of their seats and all that kind of stuff. But honestly, I had a feeling this was going to happen. I really did. Ghislaine Maxwell was found guilty on 5 of the 6 charges that were laid upon her head. It is official. It is official and it's breaking. I know I'm not breaking, you know what I'm saying? But it is breaking news as of the past, hour or so. I'm in the middle of doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm cooking some dinner, getting some stuff ready. And then all of a sudden I get this information. I'm like, okay, I got to jump on. I got to chop it up with the fam and break this live. Because the funny thing is that it's kind of like they're talking about it, but they're kind of not. It's weird. Like, I don't know what they're trying to hide, y'all. You know what I'm saying? They didn't even let cameras in the courtroom. There's a lot of things that are very strange here, in my personal opinion. But before we jump into all that stuff, do me that solid, okay? Hit that like button. I wasn't planning on being on today at all. I was enjoying my time off, some time away. Getting back to some things that I enjoy when I have some time on my hands. I get to throw down, cook a little bit, so I've been enjoying that hobby of mine. So do me the solid. You know what I'm saying? I'm breaking this story for you guys right now as we speak. So please hit that like button. And if you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button. Crush it, nuke it, destroy it, all that stuff. It'd be great to have you part of the Pascal Show family. Anyway, we got to get into these stories, y'all. I got some stories for all y'all. Okay. And like I said, it is breaking news right now. 'Tis breaking news. As we know right now, Ghislaine Maxwell has been found guilty. Let me pull up this article so we can see this together. Okay. And I mean, the charges that she's looking at, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, some bad stuff for her. Real talk. Okay. Ghislaine Maxwell, 60, is found guilty on 5 of the 6 charges in this trafficking trial. Okay. Jury convicts Jeffrey Epstein's madam. And now she faces up to 65 years. She's there for life, y'all. It's a wrap, y'all. I don't even know how old she is, but I mean, do you think she's going to last 65 years in prison behind bars? If she gets the full 65, that is. I think not. Yeah, I think not. But good riddance. I'm happy about this. I'm going to be straight funky. I am very, very happy about this. So, Ghislaine Maxwell, and I'll explain why. I mean, of course, some other people will be like, if you don't know why, then you've been living, in a cave. And you don't know which way is up, and you don't know what season it is and all that stuff. You've just been completely disconnected from the Matrix. But so obviously a lot of us are applauding this verdict. And a lot of us were really worried because, there was the Omarion was really messing things up for the jury as well. There was a lot of concerns about that. That's why they were like, it might be a mistrial because of people getting sick and so on and so forth. Thank you, Jesus, they said. Hail to the no to that. And they pushed forward and they got a verdict. And I feel like it's the right verdict. But the question is, like I said at the top of here, it says she's found guilty on 5 of the 6. Not all 5. Or not all 6, I'm sorry. So it makes you wonder, why wasn't she guilty of all 6 charges? And they all revolve around some sort of trafficking. You know what I'm talking about. Can't say much. You feels me? But let's get into these bullets because I'm not going to read the whole damn article, right? But Ghislaine Maxwell has been found guilty of sex trafficking. I said it, damn. It's all good. Charges today. After 6 days of deliberation, which is very interesting to me. It makes me wonder why they deliberated for 6 days. Because for me, she guilty. Like, guilty is sin. Period. I'd be like, yo, there's no argument here. Don't even talk to me about this. This girl be guilty, right? Forget about it, right? But it's interesting. 6 days of deliberation. A jury of 6 men, 6 women found the British socialites guilty on 5 of the 6 counts, all except enticing an individual under the age of 17 to travel with the intent to engage in illegal stuff that a underage young girl should not be doing, should not be traveling to go do, okay? In the biblical sense. You know what I'm saying, right? Yeah. Yeah, Jackie Brown, it took 6 days. Bruh, why 6 days, though? Why 6 days? Moving on, the 6th count, the trafficking of an individual under the age of 18. It's weird. They said 17 a second ago. Now it says 18, but okay. Carries a maximum sentence of 40 years in prison. So maybe they said, well, she's already going to be in there for life if she gets the full 65. Why give her another 40? Why give her another potential 40? That's what I see when I look at that. That's the thing that I think in my head. Because to me, no matter what, doesn't matter how hard she tries, she guilty. Guilty as charged. I missed something, so I'm going to go back to that bullet. She faces a maximum, like I said earlier in the title, she faces a maximum sentence of 65 years in prison. 65. And she's well in her 40s at least. I don't know how old the girl is, but real talk, bruh. She old. I mean, if she was in her 20s and was 65, like, okay, maybe. But nah, man, this is life in prison. She's potentially looking at the rest of her given life, her natural life behind bars. You basically gave her a life sentence, y'all. They basically gave her a life sentence. And I'm saying, that's okay with me. I'm okay with that. Because this woman did some very, very bad things. Not only herself, but along with her partner, Jeffrey Epstein. Okay? Key moments of the trial included the moment Jeffrey Epstein's massage table was brought into court for the jurors to see, and the claim that Maxwell may have been pregnant. There is some photos out there that show like them posing together, and it looks like he's got his hands on her belly, like she is actually pregnant, so on and so forth. I mean, you know, obviously these are things, speculations and all that, stories that are circulating. But I mean, here it is. I think she was pregnant. Let's be real. You know, why fake the funk? Okay. And I know a lot of people sit there. Yeah, he gone, Kelly B. He gone, dead and gone. You know what I mean? Just gone. Okay. T.I. and JT gone. He gone. But here's the thing, though. I don't think he did it. That's what I think. And we got to talk about this. I'm going to be real. We got to talk about it a little bit. Okay. And we're going to get into it. But let me go through some of these other bullets before we continue on my opinions, on my wacky, crazy ass opinions. Okay. Women claimed Maxwell had recruited them when they were teens to take part in group activities. I'm sorry, it took me a minute to figure out another censored word or code word for this. group activities, vigorous group activities with Epstein at his properties around the world. House manager Juan Alessi put Maxwell at the center of Epstein's sordid life, saying she helped book his massages with underage girls. One accuser, Carolyn, described how Maxwell felt her top and said she had a great body for Mr. Epstein and his friends. From the horse's mouth. That's not a bad one, Ner. Group gymnastics. Yes. Group yoga. Okay. Maxwell declined to give evidence at her trial, saying the government has not proved its case beyond a reasonable doubt, so there's no reason to testify. Now, here's the thing. Well, let's talk about that really quick. The possibility of her testifying right here. I'm just going to highlight it real quick. Testifying. Is that a good idea or nah? I mean, we've seen it on two different cases. And of course, these are completely different cases that have nothing to do with somebody walking in already for doing some monstrously disgusting things to underage people. But we've seen two different sides of it, where we had somebody like Kyle Rittenhouse go up there, tears, putting out his own perspective on what was going on, standing strong, standing strong on his opinions and on what he thought was him defending himself. This is self-defense without a shadow of a doubt, right? Then we have Kim Potter, right? Kim Potter goes up there, crumbles, has weird tics and all that stuff, but she's able to put out her own opinion, her own side of the story, right? Now, we all heard her perspective. We heard what was going on, right? On Kim Potter. So when we click and drag that idea, like the defense going and looking at Ghislaine and saying, "Oh, let's bring her in. Let's do this. Let's put her to testify." Probably was the smartest thing they could have done. I feel like, because of course, I think she would incriminate herself even more. Also, on top of that, for those people who are trying to cover their own asses, the friends, because let's not forget, she did say to Carolyn that she had a great body for Mr. Epstein and his friends. Like, what is this? Like a cartoon special event? You know what I mean? Is this Mickey Mouse and friends? Like, what the hell is this? Right? Who are these friends? I feel like as soon as she went up there, prosecution would have walked up to her and said, "Who are the other people? Who are the friends? What are you hiding? What else do you know?" And of course, I feel like her perspective and her side would I feel like the prosecution would have eaten her up and sopped her up with a biscuit. That's what I literally think. I think she would have been destroyed. She would have been made a meal out of. That's what I think. So no matter what, even though she was found guilty on 5 of the 6 counts, maybe the jury would have gone to a decision quicker. The other part of it is, what makes them wait for 6 days? What stops them from just going out of that room and going, "Guilty? Yeah, this girl's guilty," and come back and go, "Guilty"? What took them 6 days to figure this thing out? That's what I'd like to know, y'all. That's what I'd like to know. What took them 6 damn days? 6. What was the debate going on inside of that room while they were deliberating? What kind of correspondence was going on between the jurors, all 6 men and 6 women, that would make them take 6 days to come up with a verdict. It's very strange to me, y'all. Like I said, very strange. Now, I got a few news clips, news clips of them talking about all this and everything. But the funny thing is that hold on real quick before I even do this, because I got to give somebody a shout out real quick, because I wouldn't have known this. Literally, I was knee deep in getting my cooking on and all that stuff. I was busy, and then all of a sudden, this thing just pops up, and I'm like, "Whoa!" So, How Do It Free Us Dubois was right. That is the Twitter handle. Shout out to her. Thank you so much for giving me the heads up about this verdict, because it just kind of flew under the radar. I didn't see this I didn't see it on TV. I didn't see anybody making any type of big announcement about this. So I was like, okay, we got to talk about this. Real talk, we got to pop up. We got to talk about this. I just found it very, very strange. Extremely, extremely strange. But like I said, we got a couple of news clips I want to show you guys right quick. Like I said, this is not going to be a long show, not a long feed today, but I just figured this is some interesting information. And, it's still, in my personal opinion, she's guilty of everything except that one time. Except that one time, she, a girl was sent to cross state lines to do biblical things with somebody. She's not guilty of that, but she's guilty of everything else. Huh. Interesting. Let's take a listen to this, shall we?
What do we know about when we're going to get a decision on this?
Well, we don't know, and we're into some 25.
Oh, sorry, my bad. This is earlier today, by the way, just so you know.
5 hours now of deliberations, and the jury has made a lot of requests. They've asked for all the testimony of the 4 women accusers. They've asked for things like sticky notes and a whiteboard. They've asked for other testimony to be reread. They've asked for a clarification of the definition of the word enticement, which is central to one of the counts. So they're trying to, in many ways, put this whole thing back together again. Remember, they had they deliberated for a short period, then they had a 4-day break during the holiday, and now they're back. And so, which is somewhat unusual. And they're also not sequestered. So for a lot of those different variables, this could go on for some time. But then, of course, they could walk out here at any moment and say that they have a verdict. We just don't know. It all boils down to, for the most part, whether the jury believes the 4 young women who are making these allegations against Maxwell, or whether the jury believes the defense attorneys who are basically saying that these women are making up these stories and that they are out for money. And that's what this all boils down to. So again, we're at about 25 hours or so now, and we will see if the jury has more questions or perhaps a verdict today.
What's interesting to me is this too. Then let's hear from Prince Andrew. Obviously, he's going to be brought into court here very, very soon. Ghislaine Maxwell has just been found guilty among a jury of her peers. Oh, it's about to get really, really gnarly here, guys. I guarantee you that. But what I also so that's what I find very strange, that actually, there was a part here that I just don't get. I'm gonna find that screenshot here really quick. I want to show it to you guys, because this part doesn't make sense to me at all. How could he be found guilty of one thing, but not be found guilty of another thing that is the same thing, if that makes any sense? So here it is. You see all the things that she has been found guilty of, right? But one of them, they're all basically the same thing. They're transporting of a minor, so on and so forth, right? But then there's one she's not found guilty of. Huh? But that doesn't make any sense to me. Does that make sense to you? You're found guilty of everything except that one. Like I said, it doesn't make sense. Was the jury going, like I said earlier, did the jury just say, you know what? You know what? Hey, y'all. She's looking at 65 with these 5. Okay? She's looking at a maximum of 65. If she gets this other one, she gets 40 more years on top of that. Don't you think 65 is enough? Was that the conversation that happened inside that jury, in that room with the jury? In that deliberation room? See what I'm saying? Thank you, Esther. Like I said, this does not make sense to me. Mims, make it make sense. Mims. Hashtag Mims. Make it make sense. She is everything on this list. Everything on this list has to do with the one thing that she's found not guilty of. What? So it's saying that she's been doing it before, but then but there's that one time or that one count that she doesn't. What? Doesn't make sense. It doesn't. We got another news clip I'm gonna pull up here, but I was just kind of like, wait a second, y'all. We need to look at that because someone needs to make that make sense. Moments when I wish I had a lawyer on speed dial on this show that I can have here to talk about this stuff and speak about it on a legal sense. Do me a favor, y'all. Do me a small favor. I see over 200 of y'all, 200 souls watching the show on all platforms. If you're watching this on Twitter, hit the like button. Follow me on Twitter, by the way, The Pascal Show, one word. If you are watching on Facebook, hit that like button. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button down below. Do not forget to crush that subscribe button. Okay? We talk about everything on this show and on this platform. And today we are talking about Ghislaine Maxwell found guilty on 5 of the 6, but it doesn't make sense. Why not all 6, y'all? Why not all 6? But anyway, we got a news clip I want to play for you guys right quick. It's a little longer. We're not going to go through the whole thing, but let's go.
Everyone was looking at is the reaction from Ghislaine Maxwell. It was hard to see if she was showing any real emotion because there was a mask over her face. But I can tell you within moments of hearing guilty on count 1, not guilty on count 2, and guilty on those other 4 counts, she sort of took a deep breath and looked as though she was pouring herself some water.
Yeah, I would too. If only that was a glass of wine or a good, strong scotch, right? But yeah, she's like, well, she said, well, time to make the donuts. I mean, literally. She's like, well, I'm going to be here for a while now. This is going to be interesting. Crazy, y'all.
Again, this is a big day for a number of women, not just the 4 that were the center of this trial, but the dozens of women who accused Jeffrey Epstein of sexual abuse and never got to see his case go to trial. Remember, he was found dead in his jail cell back in 2019. And all of a sudden, the focus turned to Ghislaine Maxwell, her involvement, what she knew, what she didn't know. 4 women at the center of this trial. Again, as you mentioned, she's found guilty on every single count except for count 2, which has to do with the enticement of an individual under the age of 17, specifically as it pertains to Jane in this case, to travel with intent to engage in illegal sexual activity. But a lot of work, a lot of months, and even years when you go back to sort of this coming to light, when you look at what happened with Jeffrey Epstein. Ghislaine Maxwell always maintaining her innocence, but in this case, the jurors believed the women.
I mean, okay. I mean, obviously we already know. I mean, a lot of us who are watching right now agree that what's going on here is totally justified, that justice is finally being served. Of course we believe these women. Of course this guy was a very, very bad man. Of course Ghislaine Maxwell was involved in unthinkable things. I mean, if you've seen the story, if you've seen the documentary that's on HBO, I think it's on HBO Max, your jaw will drop. It's mind-blowing, the things that he was able to get away with because he had a group of constituents that were so strong and so powerful, right? And so connected to other people of influence and power. It's unbelievable. And a lot of these girls that were terrified of saying anything, of exposing the truth. I don't blame these women being so scared. Same thing that goes back to the whole R. Kelly. Yes, I said it. R. Kelly. Aura Kelly. Those women finally were able to come out and say something because they realized that they weren't alone. So I feel like when it comes to this, yes, it's crazy that it took so long for some of these women to be able to come out and speak, right? But thank God that they were still able to speak nonetheless, and at least someone that was involved with this craziness is going to see life behind bars. That woman's natural life is over. That is if she is actually sentenced within the full 65 years. And I have a feeling they're going to be leaning towards that 65. That's what I truly believe. And here it is. She says, oh, I'm the scapegoat, right? Well, you made your bed. You bloody lie in it.
And Jessica, let's talk about the actual counts that Maxwell was convicted of. Why was it that she wasn't found guilty of that second count?
Here we go.
Well, only the jury knows for sure why they believe that the prosecutors didn't prove that case. But there was some indication that they might be going that way on count number 2, if my memory is serving correctly, based in part on some of the questions they asked, based on some of the transcript they asked for. I think they asked one question about basically what type of behavior would satisfy count 2. And there was some question, well, does that indicate that they're waffling on all accounts, or are they just going count by count in this case? I will say that I think it actually shows the jury made a very careful decision in this case. Look, there's no two ways about it. It's absolutely a repudiation of the defense's tactic here. The defense, frankly, I think trying to blame the victims, saying their memories were faulty, saying that they were really motivated by money, saying that the prosecution in this case was really just trying to go after Epstein, but he was dead, so Ghislaine Maxwell was the only person standing to hold responsible. So 5 out of 6 counts, really it is a jury finding overwhelmingly that the prosecution proved its case. And the fact that it wasn't on all counts, to your question, I think really does show the jury took this not as a whole, but in isolation, count by count, piece of evidence by piece of evidence, applying those pieces of evidence to the jury instructions, to the law, to see if each one in isolation was satisfied.
Well, I mean, it's sure. Because it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't make sense. To me, it doesn't make sense. Each and every single individual charge was in relation to the other charges as well. They were all the same theme. It just doesn't make sense to me, at least to me. Like I said, love to hear from a lawyer about this one, real talk, to see where it is, where the logic is behind this, of why the jury said, we're going to give her everything except the 6th count of this. Yet every single thing that she said, every single thing that she was being charged of was in relation to, it was the whole theme was the same thing, trafficking. So how was she not found guilty on that 6th charge? That part does not make sense to me. But like I said, that's something I want to know, right? That's something I'd like to know, right? Just saying. Strange. But like I said, somebody, she either going to squawk here very, very soon, exposing her body to see if she can get a lesser sentence, hopefully, so that we can expose the other pieces of trash that are out here, right? That's what, at least what I hope for, that she comes out and exposes the terrible individuals that were involved, that went to Epstein's many islands and many, places to have fun, Who are Mr. Epstein, like who are his friends? When she says Mr. Epstein and friends, who they be? That's what I want to know. Who they be. Let's listen to a little bit more of this real quick.
And so, Jericho, we just heard from Jessica, who had mentioned the questions that the jury had along the way. They clearly took the time with their deliberation. It took about a week or so. What were some of the things that they asked for before today?
Mainly the transcripts. They were asking to reread the transcripts from the FBI, from other people who testified on the defense side. And to Jessica's point, whenever it takes a little bit longer than expected, and I don't know if there was really an expectation, but we're talking a number of days, hours of deliberating, knowing also that there's an Omicron variant that is spreading like wildfire, knowing that New Year's Eve is a couple days away, and this judge making it clear that they would be here through all of that so that they could reach a decision in this case. It's really years, like I said, in the making, but going back to your original question, they continue to ask for transcripts, they continue to ask questions, and having covered cases very similar to this involving sexual abuse and things that date back, 10, 15, 20 years ago, I think it's really, really important. I think these jurors took their jobs very seriously, as the judge noted, thanking them for their service at the end of this, because it is a big burden. You're talking about someone's life here, and Ghislaine Maxwell was facing up to 70 years on all the counts, but it's our understanding that she faces up to at least 65 years in prison. We'll learn more about that as this goes on. But as of right now, the big story, Ghislaine Maxwell found guilty on 5 of those 6 counts.
There it is, y'all. Bang. Ghislaine Maxwell found guilty on 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 6. No matter what. Even though it is not, let's just say, it is not the... You want her to be found on, like, just by landslide, guilty on all counts. Sure. But at the same time, no matter what, here it is. This woman is going to be behind bars for a very, very long time. Unless she gets lucky, right? Unless she gets very, very lucky, which I highly, highly doubt. I highly doubt. But there you have it, y'all. Ghislaine Maxwell is going to prison. And she's going to prison for a very, very, very long time. And I am very happy about it. I don't know about y'all, but I'm very happy about it. Why, you may ask? Because people like that do not deserve to be free. People like that deserve to be behind bars for forever. Lock them up and throw away the key. That's what I think. Real talk. Real talk. But, guys... Woo, like I said, it was going to be a short one today. A very, very short one, but I wanted to come on, chop it up with you guys, break this news to you guys real quick, because I told you I would. If they were going to do a verdict, that I was going to be on here live to chop it up with you guys and tell you guys the news. And there you guys have it. Hopefully you guys are satisfied. Damn. No, I'm just kidding. I'm very, very happy right now. More and more evil people are being put away, right? And it should be like that. Not just evil people walking free out here, And I wish that they were caught a lot longer ago, a long time ago, right? And I kind of wish Jeffrey Epstein didn't die in that jail cell. Real talk. Because I know he had some information that we probably will never get, y'all. It's a damn shame. But still, nonetheless, the Robin to his Batman has been found guilty. And I'll take that. Anyway, guys, it's time to get going. Don't forget to hit that like button down below. Please do that for me. Hit that like button down below. Do not forget to crush that subscribe button. It'd be great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family. Anyway, if I don't see you guys, Happy New Year to all y'all. All right? Happy New Year to all y'all. Have a great rest of your night. Do something positive out there. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys in the next video. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.